We truly appreciate you for joining us on this glorious day. Quierra, what's happening?
Hey, fool. How are you?
Hey, you know, it's another day, another dollar, another podcast, and we are at it. We are back at it. And guess what? We got another guest in the building. His name is Brandon Robinson, aka B Rob. Everybody knows him as B Rob. He was number 4 in your program, but probably number 1 in your hearts. He is from Douglas County High School, Douglasville, Georgia. B Rob, what's happening, baby?
Hey, that's the best intro I heard on any podcast. What's up?
Hey, B Rob. Hey, and not to mention, everybody, tell everybody you is a national champion.
I'm a national champion, 2017.
Go let them know that. Tell them who you is, man. What has B Rob been up to since he graduated from the University of North Carolina?
I just really been chilling, trying to stay safe, working out, playing video games. That's about it. And amazing.
Okay. So what's next? What's next for B Rob? Are you have aspirations of going overseas? If that market kind of opens up again, maybe G League or whatever's going on with us in the G League. What's next for B Rob?
I'm definitely just being patient, trying to stay ready for whatever call I get, whatever opportunity open up. Just like you said, for either the overseas market or the G League, whichever opportunity opens up first for me. That's what I'm waiting on, and I'm just being patient, controlling what I can control. And just when I get that call, be the best version of me.
That's what it's about, baby. That's what they say. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah.
There it is. That's what we do, baby. We stay ready. You heard?
Gotta stay ready.
All right, so B-Rob, take us a little bit over your career at North Carolina. It seems like it was over in a flash. So just from beginning to end, talk about your 4 years at UNC.
No, just my freshman year was probably the most fun I ever had playing basketball. And I didn't even play major minutes, being a part of a national championship team, going on a national championship run. Like, that's the most fun I ever had playing basketball. And I think I just learned so much from being on that team and being around guys that been in that moment before, been there for 3-4 years, like Justin, Theo, Joe, Nate, Kennedy, Isaiah, just being around those guys. They helped me mature so much and develop over my time over these 4 years. I would say, like, especially going against Justin every day in practice my freshman year, it helped me so much in my career because, he was a first-round draft pick, and he used to kill me every day in practice. But I used to go back at him, but he used to get the best of me, and that helped me develop so much over time. And each year I saw my role grow more and more and be an important part of the team. So it's been it was a fun ride, and I just was proud of my development over the time there.
So B Rob, let's kind of expand on that, because I am one to be very critical of the player development at North Carolina. And I look, Quierra shaking her head, because, like, again, I was in the program, so I kind of know how it works. But I also understand exactly what you just said. Playing against somebody like a Justin Jackson every day in practice, it helps you get better. It helps you expand your role. It helps you start to understand the game a little bit quicker than you would if you were playing against somebody else who maybe wasn't a first-round draft pick. So for me, I had to play against your Raymond Feltons, Rashad McCants, and all those guys, which again, it helped me turn it over rather quickly from my freshman year to my sophomore year to my junior year, and then especially expanding on that role my senior year. And for you, your senior year kind of it kind of mimicked mine. You grew out of this shell, or you got the opportunity to kind of show what you could do, because all of that talent had left. So speak to your senior year, and I know it didn't go great as far as the record is concerned, but personally for you, you put up career high numbers, and just kind of speak to that.
Definitely, it was kind of funny before the season. I was just out one day, like in Chapel Hill, and somebody asked me, did I think I was going to start my senior year coming up, knowing that we had Justin and Christian coming in. And I was like, no disrespect, but I know I'm going to start, because my freshman year, I played against Justin, first-round draft pick. My sophomore year, I played against Theo. He went undrafted, signed to Brooklyn. And then my junior year, I'm going against Cam and Nas every day in practice, and they first-round draft picks. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going against first-round draft picks, people in the NBA every day in practice. So I know I'm prepared for this moment. Like I know it's my time. And I feel like even that summer, my confidence was so high in pickup. I was playing great. And I felt like even though I had a good showing this year, I felt like I could have been even better if I was healthy. You know, I felt like the whole year I just wasn't healthy, just dealing with my ankle, dealing with my neck injury with a car accident. But I just knew from me playing pickup in the summertime against pros literally every day and then going against first round draft picks, it was no way that I couldn't excel in that moment. It was just time for me to be that guy. So just me going against those guys every day and then doing the extra work on my own, I knew that the season was going to happen like that for me.
So to expand on that using
Mhm.
David's word, talk a little bit about, did you feel like you, I don't know how to properly say this, but you did have the car accident and there were other nagging injuries. Um, did you feel required to not miss a game? I think you only missed like one, and the leadership that you had to provide for this team. Like we know if B Rob can be at 2%, there's no excuse for any of us.
You know, it was just tough too because I'm also thinking like in the back of my head when I'm dealing with all these injuries, like this is my senior year. This is the last time I'm gonna be able to play in this jersey. And for me, I love competing, I love playing, and I just love to try to win games. And that's why I play basketball. I love the feeling of winning and competing. So for me, it was never the thought of me sitting out missing games just to try to rest or be 100% healthy. I was always tell Doug, like, if I can go out there and I can move a little bit, I'm going to try to play no matter what. And that was always my mindset. Even like times where I felt like crap during warm-ups, I was like, you know what, I just got to push through it. And I always tell Garrison, like, just talk to me through the game, just like help me out, just keep me motivated. And that was a big thing through the season. I appreciate him and Sterling too, because I live with them and they could see like in my face all the time when I come in the house like I'm hurting, but they like always in my ear, bro. Just keep pushing, just keep playing, and you're good. So it was just that mentality of just competing. I love to compete, so that's why I kept playing.
Hey, speaking of like your G's and your Sterlings and all that kind of stuff, we'll kind of go back to your freshman year or freshman, sophomore, junior year. Was there any point in your, because you spoke to like playing in pickup, and I used to come back. By that time, I was retired, so I ain't get to fry y'all. But I ain't get to fry none of y'all. But by that time, I ain't hung it up. But I watched you, and like after your freshman year, I said, "Ooh, I think sophomore year they're gonna be B Rob's year." And then you had who came in? Cam and them came in, and it kind of messed with your minutes. Then the next year after that, you look great again in pickup, and it's like, okay, okay, here come B Rob now. And then another class comes in, and again it messes with your minutes. So during that time, did you ever think about like maybe even leaving North Carolina, transferring, and did your relationships with your teammates like Garrison and Sterling and guys like that keep you there?
Yes, that's a great question because
It is a great question, David.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, like you said, like after my freshman year coming in to pick up, like you're not playing a lot and you still trying to figure stuff out. And then in my sophomore year, like my sophomore summer, going in my sophomore summer, I'm playing pickup. And I'm out there actually surprising myself. Like I'm doing things. I'm like, okay, well, maybe this might be the year.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You like, bro, you look great in pickup. Like for 2 summers straight, I kept saying, hey, B Rob, here he come. Here he come.
Right. So definitely like I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, okay, cool. I waited my turn sophomore year, this the time. But it didn't end up being that way. And it was very frustrating, especially that sophomore year, because that was my first time really playing good in pickup and not seeing the minutes that I thought I was going to get because of the way I was playing in pickup, the way I was going to play during the season. Like it was very tough at that time. And I used to have thoughts in my head of like, man, I want to leave. Like I can't stand this. Like this is tough. Like, and then it's also don't make it better. Like I know you probably can speak to this. You looking at dudes you played against in high school, AAU circuit, you looking at them like, man, I used to kill him. And he out here scoring 20 points, and that used to like kill me just because I'm just such a competitor. Like that's just me. That's just who I am. But I used to have those thoughts of leaving. Like, but then we was winning, and that's something that's me. Like I want to win. If I'm scoring 20 points and I'm losing, like I hate that. But if I score 2 points and we win it, I'm gonna be happy. So that was the biggest thing that was keeping me at North Carolina, because we were winning, and I loved that family atmosphere that we had. And I remember Coach Williams told me during my recruiting trip, like, even a bad day in North Carolina is a good day. So like, it wasn't like I was having bad days in practices, wasn't playing and going back to my room miserable, hating my teammates. Like, I loved all my teammates, had good relationships with them. And like you said, guys like Garrison and Sterling, and even I say like Theo, Kenny, like Luke, guys like that, they seen me playing pickup, so they're like always motivating me, like, yo, just be you. Like, you can play. Mm-hmm. So then even that junior year coming in, I remember after the first game, that junior year summer, I killed in pickup, and I'm like, you know what? It's this. I waited last year. This is definitely the year. And I remember the very first game we played, we won, but I was playing like 2 minutes. We played Wofford. And I remember sitting there after the game, like, I'm so happy that we won, but then I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I really just played 2 minutes as a junior, like, and I worked so hard that off season. And I just remember, like, Garrison and Sterling again being in my ear, Kenny being in my ear, like, bro, it's gonna end up happening. Where you gonna end up playing, we're gonna end up needing you. So like, that was another reason why I ended up like staying, because my teammates always believed in me. They always told me, like, yo, you're gonna be a big part of this team. Like, we know you can play. We seen you in practice kill people. So just wait your turn. And then even in that junior year, like, eventually things started working out for me. I started being a key guy coming off the bench, and we were winning. We were rolling off wins. So that was a great feeling for me, just being patient and seeing that work finally pay off, where I could be a main contributor on the team. I think me, Nas, and Seb, we were three really important guys on that team my junior year, because when guys would get tired, if guys get in foul trouble, we got 3 guys that can come in the game, and it's not going to be a drop-off. Like, we can play. So absolutely. I think that was really important for my confidence that junior year, especially just seeing me shoot the ball great, shooting like over 40% from the 3. So like, I was actually feeling like that work paid off.
So speaking of teammates, there was I wouldn't even say a trending topic. We noticed a conversation pertaining to Cole Anthony and him being a bad teammate. What was Cole Anthony like your senior year? Just from the outside looking in, he could have left after his injury, or, he could not play it at all. And I believe, I could be wrong, but he brought y'all guys Christmas gifts. Like, yeah. So, I mean, hearing all the good things about Cole, and then to see that, he was deemed a bad teammate from someone random on Twitter. What do you say about Cole Anthony's presence on the UNC team?
I don't think he's a bad teammate at all. Like, I had a great relationship with him on the court and off the court. I think a lot of times when you're on a team like we were, people are always going to point the finger at the best player on the team. And Cole was the best player on the team. And I'd say something that Cole is, he's a competitor. He wants to win. Like, so he's going to do everything in him to help us win. And I think a lot of people got that confused with him being a bad teammate. And I think when you're such a great player like that for a long time, and you're not used to playing with other people on the same level as you, you're not used to having a guy that you can look over to and trust him and pass the ball to. And I think over time, he started to realize, man, I don't have to do this by myself. And, I don't think he's a bad teammate. And I honestly tell people all the time that Cole's game fits the NBA more than it fits college. Like, a lot of guys aren't tailor-made for college, but they have to do that 1 year. And I think Cole is one of those guys that could have did like the G League thing and still been a top 5 pick, because the way he plays in his game is predicated more to the NBA, in my opinion. But he's not a bad teammate at all. And he was always one of those guys, when he was hurt, you would see him, like, every time we playing, he jumping up and down, like, cheering for us loud. Like, I remember even one clip, like, I hit a 3 and he almost like hit coach because he was cheering so hard. But like, he's not a bad teammate. And I think he's going to be very successful in the NBA because, like I said, his game fits the NBA mold better. But as far as a bad teammate, I think people are just pointing the finger at him because we had such a bad season. But it's not his fault. It's a collective fault. We all didn't play good. It wasn't just him.
So there it is. That's my segue. That's because I want to talk about this season, man. Because so I think, how can I put this? I've said that the Carolina season that happened was a lack of, one, it was the academic scandal finally kind of revealing itself after so many years. Then on top of that, it was also, I felt like, the lack of player development at the University of North Carolina, all coming in at one, plus on top of that, Cole getting hurt. So last year's season, and again, I know it sucks that it was your senior season that it took this type of turn. Throughout the season, how did you guys stay motivated to go out there each and every game, knowing that you got like, so y'all, and then it's like a 12-part question.
I got you.
So
No, you're not the first person to ask me this though. Like,
but look though, but then y'all muster up all this energy to go out there and beat them bums, and then we give it away. I told Quierra, as soon as we lost that game, the way that we lost that game, I said that was it. Because I felt like that game could have propelled us to maybe a 500 season at best. But us losing that game literally took all of the wind out of our sail. So how did you respond after that game to say, hey, all right, listen, we still got X amount of games in this season to play. Let's at least try to make the most out of it. But did you feel like that game took out, I guess, the wind in y'all sail?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start off with your first part of the question. Yeah. So looking back at the season, I think one of the main things that hurt us was when I got hurt, literally the scrimmage game. Mm-hmm. When I got hurt the scrimmage game, I was out like the first 3 or 4 games. In those first 3 or 4 games of the season, I feel like guys kind of figure out their role, figure out where, get an idea of the season of where they're gonna be. Mm-hmm. And then you got guys like Leaky going down into the Bahamas when we played in the Bahamas. And then you had Cole get hurt. And then you had Armando go down. So it was like we had so many injuries, so we could never get a consistent lineup. So guys couldn't get the idea of what their role is. Like one night we might need Christian to go out here and score 20 points. But then I come back and the next night we need him to be a 12-point guy and a guy that come in and defend. And I think we had so many injuries we could never establish roles throughout our team, and guys focus on, okay, this is my role, this is what I need to do to not hurt the team but to help us. And I think that's what was a big major part. And I think the other thing that killed us is like, I think we lost like 6 games like in the last 30 seconds.
Yes.
And I've always been that type person to joke around and say, I'd rather lose by 20
right
than lose by 1. Because I remember it would be times where we'll lose by 10 or 15 points, and I'd be like, man, they just a better team than us. We need to go back to the drawing board. We need to work harder in practice. We need to fix some things. But then we lose by 1 point. I'm sitting up in my room till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning thinking about every single play that could have been a difference in that game, that could have made that last possession of the game not happen. And I think that Duke game, us losing that Duke game, like I remember sitting over there on the bench, like in my boot, just like hurt because we lost that game because we were supposed to win. And the thing that really, I thought that game was so important for us because Duke, I think, was top 10 or at that point or whatever.
Yeah, they were
on the record, but it was top 10 for sure. And it's like, if we beat them by like 10 points or 10, 13, 12 points like we were supposed to, that was going to give us so much confidence because we was going to look at everybody else like, if we can beat a top 10 team in the country, Duke, by 10 points, then we can have that confidence to win over anybody. And then, like you said, the development part. I think one of the big things that makes North Carolina successful is you have guys that are there 2, 3, 4 years because they figure out the system. I think the reason why Kobe and Niles were so successful because they were surrounded by guys that had been there 3, 4 years. It's hard for guys to come in year 1 and be very successful as like on a team aspect and us go out there and win. Like we had JP there only for 1 year, Christian 1 year, Armando 1 year, and Cole 1 year. We asking 4 guys that are in our top 6 that only been there for 1 year to try to figure everything out. And like, as you know, spending time in that system, you learn how everything goes. You learn how everything plays. Like I didn't have anything figured out my freshman year. I say the time I started figuring out how to score, how to find my spots was probably at the end of my sophomore season. That's when I started figuring everything out. So it takes time to be able to be successful in that system. And I think that's what killed us so much.
I agree with that.
So, and that's a great segue into this question. So when you're looking at this Carolina team coming in, it's a bunch of new guys in their first year, and you're looking at freshmen to kind of put, these really important roles, such as the point guard position. How do you see this team developing? How do you see them tackling such a not an important year, but kind of an important year, because they kind of had to, not live up to the hype, but essentially live up to the hype.
I don't even think it's necessarily living up to the hype at this point. I think it's slapping that bad taste out of last year. Like even I'm ready to see them play so I can forget last season. Like I know it's still gonna be there, but I'm excited to see them play so people can stop talking about it, give them something distracted about. But when I look at this team, I look at what how coaches coach our team. Like we going inside out, and I think we gonna go as far as Garrison and Armando take us, especially Garrison, of us being a team that always likes to pound the ball inside. And then I look at our guards that are young, and I'm excited to see RJ and Caleb play. Like I'm really excited to see them play, and I'm excited for Leaky. I think Leaky is going to be a key part of this team, and I'm finally happy that he's like had time to take off and get healthy and be himself again, because he can be that perfect glue guy to make everything stick together. And then you've got guys like Anthony Harris that came off the bench last year in a couple games but showed a lot of promise because he was that scrappy guy, played defense. And I think the thing that I like about this team is I think, guys like Caleb, Dayron, they'll probably be one and done. But I think you guys got guys like RJ, Puff, and Kerwin, and Walker Kessler, guys that could get that experience is going to help them be good in the long run. Like I said, in those 2-3 years, year 2, 3, 4, that you have a really good team because you have guys that are very experienced. But I feel like they also have kind of a good mix of youth, and I wouldn't say a good mix because there's a lot of freshmen, but that are going to play in the top 8. But I think Garrison and Armando starting last year and Leaky playing a lot of starting minutes is really good because, like, in our lineup last year, we had 4 new people that start on that team. Like, Garrison was the only person that started. So I think it's a good thing that Leaky, Armando, and Garrison all started last year.
So who is your ideal lineup?
Who would I start?
Who would you start?
That's tough.
If I was coach, from what I saw when I went up there and watched practice, if I was coach, I would start RJ at the 1, Caleb at the 2, Leaky at the 3, Armando at the 4. No, Jerrison at the 4, Armando at the 5. Then you got Ant coming off the bench, energy guy, play defense, real scrappy. You got shooters coming off the bench and Kerwin and Puff. It's always hard to shoot in your freshman year. You got Playtech coming off the bench, an experienced guy can give you some great minutes. And then you got bigs that are tough coming out the bench. You got 2 McDonald's All-Americans coming out the bench, and Dayron and Walker Kessler.
I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. I'm excited to see this.
They're loaded. They got depth.
They are. And I've been pleasantly surprised by Kerwin. Everybody speaks so highly on Kerwin. You did say.
I know. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a clip on Twitter when you said you weren't sold on him.
I wasn't, bro. I wasn't.
Okay.
What?
I thought you were talking about me. I've been sold on Kerwin.
No. It was me. I wasn't sold. It wasn't that I wasn't. I'll say I wasn't sold.
Let me tell you why I don't think he was sold. Because he doesn't have a personality.
Yeah, it's
hard to read people that don't have a personality.
He's like a cutout.
He's like another Kawhi. Like he just every time I see him, he don't. Like I've been there so many times been around this kid. I've never heard him laugh. I've never heard him talk. I've never seen him smile. Like it's strictly business. And I remember I went to practice. They do this thing where they shoot 3s in a row, and he hit like 12 in a row and broke the record. For like the start of the practice, they just shoot 3s and see who can make the most in a row, and he made 12.
Yo, I hope he is Kawhi-esque.
I think he's gonna be like another Kenny. I think he's gonna be like another Kenny.
No, I think I need him to be better than Kenny. I need him to be better than Kenny. I know Quierra Luck, that's your man. And can't get right, that's my man too. But I need him to be better than Kenny.
For people, it's okay. Stop calling him that.
What? Can't get right? Man, you know that's his name.
But let me tell you what the difference is between like David calling them and some random person.
Right.
He knows us, and it's a basketball player. It's different when somebody been in that grind, been in the trenches, and know you versus a person on the internet.
And a part of the reason why I call him can't get right is because he stayed hurt so much. Yeah. And that's really where it came from.
It's all love. You're not disrespecting him.
Yeah. It definitely ain't no disrespect, and he know that. Man, Kenny is my guy. No question. And I told him that one day. I said, bro, I'm gonna start calling you can't get right because every time I come in here, you hurt. I said, bro, come on, man, we got to get this together. So from that
we want him to be a healthy Kenny.
That's why I call him can't get right. But that's love. But I hope he is. I hope he's better than Kenny. Just from that. Now, I hope he competes like Kenny.
Yeah, because Kenny
plays defense like Kenny. I just hope he finds his shot a lot earlier than Kenny did.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's another big thing. When I look at this team, I look at somebody. I need somebody to be able to fill that role of being a knockdown shooter because we didn't shoot the ball great at all last year. And I think that's the one thing this team missing. Like I think they got good point guard play, good big play, but that wing position, like I need Leaky to be that glue guy, but we need somebody that can be a knockdown shooter.
Absolutely, and that's where the aforementioned Andrew Playtech, please, son, please, bro. Please, buddy.
I've shot with Playtech. I think the biggest thing that Playtech has to work on is his confidence.
It's confidence for him.
And basketball, if your confidence goes away, it's hard to be, especially as a shooter. If you don't have no confidence, it's going to be rough for you. So I think he always is just too tough on himself. And I always used to tell him, like, bro, it's okay to miss a shot. Like, you're human. Like, I understand, but you just got to keep shooting and be confident in yourself. Don't get so down when you miss one shot.
Yeah, and that's my thing for Playtech too, man. Just shoot it confidently, and that's all we need him to do. We don't need him to do nothing else. We don't need him to handle the ball. We don't need him to be a playmaker. We need him to be Wes Miller out there. Catch that thing, let it go, and let it hit the bottom of the net. That simple.
Okay, so Brandon, you are other than Joel, I think I need you to add. Well, you don't have to. 05 and 09 is consistently in the talks of being, which championship team would beat whom. 2017 isn't, they are regarded even by 05 and 09. They'll tell you all the time. 2017 is one of the best championships that North Carolina's ever won. But
is the best, I will say.
It's never in the conversation of like, I guess the rugged part of it, who will win. So in your opinion, who would win between 05, 09, and 17?
State your case.
Listen, all right, before I answer this question, I vividly remember sitting in the locker room and them arguing about this. Like, we had people from 05, 09, and then our team in there. And I sit there and watch them argue about this. And I don't say nothing the whole time they're arguing because literally the only thing I did was come in, play a little defense, pass the ball to one of them, and come sit down in the chair. So I had a different role.
That don't take your championship away, bro.
I mean, it don't take my championship away at all. But as far as the arguing part, I just sit there and watch it and entertain. But like, I look at each team like talent-wise. I'm gonna say this. I go like this. I'm not even gonna talent. Like, who will win? I'm gonna go 05 first. I'm gonna put them first. I'm gonna put us second and 09 third.
I ain't much respect for 05, but boy, you just say 17 is behind that. You put y'all in front of 09. Hey, I ain't mad at it, baby. I ain't mad at it.
Listen, as a competitor, I'm not gonna put us last. I'm not gonna put us last. As a competitor, I'm not gonna put us last. I'm gonna put us second.
Hey, I love it. I love it, bro. You dead wrong, but I love it.
I'm putting us second. As a competitor, I gotta put us second.
That's crazy because again, and we had this debate with with Jay Watts on here, with Joel came out of nowhere talking about something. Hey, yeah, 17 is the best. Wait, what?
So I remember in the locker room, Joe, Kennedy, and Theo, they was heated. We the best. We the best.
Man, we done beat the brakes off y'all. but here's the piece, and this is what we were talking about last podcast. And I even said this too. I do think 2017 was the best national championship. Was the best national championship that the University of North Carolina has ever won. Now, as far as team, I like, because again, even 16 was better than 17 as far as the team was concerned, in my opinion. 16
was better than 17.
Yeah, they were tough, but they didn't win it. So now you come back at 17. Quierra, you all right over that girl? Because look, but 17 comes back, great redemption. Y'all run the table. Y'all, like, again, to win the championship, you got to get lucky. You got to make plays. Y'all got lucky. Y'all made the plays. Guys played through injuries. So by far, I think 17 is the best championship. But as far as talent, man, and if we put all three of them teams on the court together playing against each other, I don't think 17 got a snowball chance in hell, bro. Hey, but I'm glad y'all won it though, so we can. But I don't think y'all got a chance.
05, 09, they always say that we last no matter what.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and here's the thing too, and this is what I always have to remind 09. Because 09 always talk about how dominant they was, and yeah, we ran the table, all that kind of little countryman. Danny Green won't Danny Green yet. Deion Thompson won't Deion Thompson yet. Tyler Hansbrough was absolutely Tyler Hansbrough, but we had everything to be able to match up with everything they had. Your Ty Lawsons, your Wayne Ellingtons, your Tyler Hansbroughs. 05 had that plus more, and we were deeper on the bench. And as you spoke to earlier, as far as the freshmen coming in, they had good freshmen, Tyler Zeller, Ed Davis, guys like that, but they wouldn't have been able to affect the game the way that our freshmen did, as far as Marvin Williams and guys like that. So, and then we had guys that didn't even play much, like Rayshon Terry, who was crazy talented, but didn't get a chance to play because of all of the talent that was in front of him. So I don't know. For me, it's going to always be 05, again, bias. But at the end of the day, I respect 17, so I'll give you your props on that.
And the reason why I put 05 first, like you said, you spoke to y'all talent, and then y'all was the first team to win with Coach Williams. So I gotta respect that. I gotta respect that.
Yeah.
As a competitor, I gotta put us second. I'm not gonna put us last.
I ain't mad at it, brother. I ain't mad. Quierra, you all right over there? You unfold your glasses and stuff.
Listen, you shaking over there is all I see. Like,
oh, that was good to me though. That was good. I like that.
You reminded, those like little German things that like a cup and a cup. I don't know why you reminded me of that, but yeah, I'm good. Go ahead, David. It's your turn.
It's on you, girl. You gotta run.
I asked about the championship team.
No, I'm talking about you need to run these hot topics off.
All right, quick takes. Who's your favorite teammate?
As we give Quierra a chance to collect herself.
That was the best laugh I had in a long time. I needed that one.
That's good.
Like my favorite teammates, I have to put Garrison, Theo, and Sterling all in the same.
Hold on, Brandon. Is there something covering your mic?
I don't know. You can't hear me? Good.
It's like muffled.
I don't think so.
Is it me?
No, it is a little low.
Yeah.
What about now?
Little. It just sounds like something's covering it, like it's muffled.
Oh, let me try. It sound better now?
Nah, not really.
That's the best.
Well,
yeah, I ain't got no headphones on me right now.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, go ahead. So who's your favorite teammate?
I have to put Garrison, Sterling, and and T are all in the same category.
Best team prank.
I don't even remember us doing a team prank, but I think the wildest thing that I did while I was there, like Sterling was messing with me like for like a good week, and I was letting him have it because I know how I am. I'm gonna go to the extreme when I get somebody back. So I told him, I was like, yo, you really want to do this right now? Like, you really want to keep messing with me? He kept messing with me, kept taking my stuff. So I said, all right, I'm gonna give you one more warning. If you mess with me again, you're gonna want to fight me. So he did it again. So then that day, I called Sterling. Later on that day, I called Sterling and Rams. Like, he stayed on the fourth floor. No, he stayed on the fifth floor, and I stayed on the third floor. I said, hey Sterling, come down to my room real quick. I need you to help me do something. So he came down to my room, and I knew he was gonna take the elevator. So I sprinted down the hallway and took the steps. And I knew Garrison was in the room, so I knocked on Garrison's door. Garrison came to open the door. I went in his room and I took trash and I put it all in his room, and then I took his clothes out his closet and I threw them on the floor and on his bed, and then I ran out the room.
Yeah.
That's the
That's definitely a prank for you.
Favorite Carolina moment outside, of course, of winning the championship.
I'd say my freshman year, I had a big tip in against Tennessee, and that was like the first time I ever played in like some crunch time minutes at Carolina. So that's like my favorite moment.
Favorite Roy Williams moment. Or favorite coach's moment. I know it's a multitude of coaches, so I'll just say favorite coach's moment.
I think my favorite moment, coaching moment, well, like my freshman year when I started not to like really play and I started getting DNP, I think the biggest moment for me that I had with coach was like we was in the elevator by ourselves, and it's like always that kind of awkward around coach when you're a freshman because you don't know like what to really say. You still trying to like fill them out as a person. Like we just sitting there and it's just quiet, and he was like, you know what, son, just keep working. You're gonna be a big time player here one day. And then I think it was like after we played Yale, I scored like 20 points, and I helped him like tie Dean Smith. I think yesterday he tied Dean Smith, and he came up to me. He was like, "Remember I told you he was gonna be a big time player here one day," and like that just kind of like stuck with me because he really said that to me, and I seen it happen like over time.
Aw. And lastly, would you do it all over again?
Yeah, I go back and not change one thing because for me, going through everything that I went through, it kind of like helped me figure out what I want to do when I'm done playing basketball. Like I always came into school thinking, you know what, I want to be an agent or just random things. Like, but for me, I kind of find that passion of being around like Coach Williams, Coach Davis, Coach Rob, like all the coaches. I found that passion of like I really want to coach when I get done playing. So that like me going there, I felt like that helped me figure out what I want to do in life and how to go about life. I learned so many things there.
All right, that's all my quick takes.
I
Dave,
like it. I like it. Hey, the coaching
we
world is
had to
nice,
really
man.
listen.
You said what?
You had to really listen. Me and you
Yeah,
both.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll go here like this. Make sure I hear what he's saying. Yeah, we got to fix that. But yeah, but hey, man, the coaching thing is I think will be a great calling for you.
Yeah.
Again, your experience at North Carolina, I'll say this. As a coach, understand like who you want to be. A lot of what you've learned at the University of North Carolina will help you progress in what you do as a coach. But also start to look at other people's philosophy and stuff like that and see how you can merge the two together. I think that would be one of the biggest things as far as being a coach and coming from the North Carolina program. But hey, I see big things for you in the coaching, man. If you ever decide to take that, once you're done playing, play as many years as you can, though. Do that first, and then come back and be like, all right, yeah, let's do that.
Oh, wait, one more question. Favorite Tar Heel outside of your teammates?
I gotta go see.
Rashid?
Yeah. Yeah, she that guy, man.
Like the first day I ever met she, like he had me dying laughing during pickup. So he gotta be my favorite one of all time.
Bro, she could have probably been the best player to ever play in the league, bro, if his head was right.
Man, I remember one time the craziest thing I ever seen she do. Brandon Huffman was talking trash to him. I don't know why Huff was talking trash to him. And I told Huff, I said, Huff, man, leave that man alone. And he kept talking trash to him, and he ran off. You know, we played a 7. So we was up like 6-0, and he ran off 7 points. But on the game point, he had the ball in his right hand, looked at Huff, and said, you know what, I'm going to game you with my left hand, and shot it with his left hand. And we lost the game. And I said, bro, Huff, he really gamed you with his left hand from the 3-point line. That joint's crazy.
That's tough. Sheed is a GOAT, man. He's definitely one of the best to ever put on the Carolina uniform. So shout out to Sheed, man. We got to get Sheed on here. I wonder if Sheed to come on. I need to holler at him.
You do.
Holler at big fella. Yeah, we need some older cats on here.
I can only imagine. All right.
93s, 98s. I like it.
Yep.
That's it. That's all we got. Hey, B-Rob, man, definitely appreciate you joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of The Player and the Fan. We had it all. Wait. What happened?
This is our 20th episode. This is our 20th episode.
Is this number 20?
This is
season 2, episode 10?
You are so far off. This is definitely we're already in season 3. You know, I just cut season 2 short because
how you ain't gonna tell me we in season 3?
Because David don't be doing David don't even be listening to the podcast when they come out.
I do listen to the podcast. I'm on the podcast. I'm listening now.
Why would you? I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, what's the point of you listening to it if you already own it and you asking the question?
I do, but I do go back and re-listen though.
Yeah, I got you.
Anywho, but yes, I do believe this is like episode 20. And yeah, episode 20. It's not our anniversary podcast yet. That'll be the next one. But yeah.
20 still
special. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20 is special.
20.
21?
2 years on the third.
Like,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Men are no good at anniversaries. They're just like
no. Hold on. Don't do that because we're great at anniversaries. Thank you very much.
The podcast. That's it.
We great at anniversaries.
I'm gonna ask Holly.
And she gonna tell you we great. We great at anniversaries. Now, thank you very much.
Y'all are horrible. Anywho, thank you, Brandon, for your time. I really do
appreciate you, good brother.
No, I appreciate y'all.
All right, David.
Hey, we holla.
All right.